has been arrested. He's been accused of being a conspirator in this particular case. Enforcement Directorate has sought for the custody of Arvind Kejriwal. These are the visuals that came in a while ago as Arvind Kejriwal was produced before the court. Now let's also try and look at what the security around Delhi, particularly around Kejriwal's residence is. People are not being allowed to go inside is what we are being told. But Bhagwat Singh Mann, the Delhi Chief Minister, did manage to reach his residence. We don't have any updates at this point whether he's been allowed inside or not. But Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwat Singh Mann did reach Arvind Kejriwal's residence. Just to recap what happened, it was around evening last night that all the Enforcement Directorate officials reached Arvind Kejriwal's residence.
From this very much point, the leaders have been detained after the protest just because using the water cannons repeatedly. It's a clear-cut indication that how the Chandigarh police is trying to control the situation and to block the protesters, to make them understand that crossing Chandigarh border is not allowed at any cost just because Section 144 has been imposed and no protest and gathering is being allowed here at the protest. You can see the visuals as well that how the ministers and even MLAs has been taken into the custody. From the border of Mohali and Punjab. The visuals are very much telling. And we will try to speak some of. We will try. ये protest आपका जारी रहेगा जब तक अरेस्ट रहेगी.
मोदी ਦੀ ਤਾਨਾਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਰਵੱਈਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆ ਗਿਆ. ਸਾਡੇ ਬਾਰਡਰ ਤੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਚਲਾਈਆਂ ਮੋਦੀ ਨੇ. ਹੁਣ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤਾਨਾਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਰਵੱਈਆ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਦੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਹਾਰ ਦੇ ਬਖਲਾਹਟ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰੀ ਸੁਪਰੀਮੋ ਅਰਵਿੰਦ ਕੇਜਰੀਵਾਲ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੋਟਿਸ ਤੋਂ ਧੋਖੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਪਾਈ ਹੈ. ਪੂਰੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਰੋਹ ਦਾ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਮੋਦੀ ਦੇ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਤ ਪਾਊਗਾ ਤੇ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ 'ਚ ਆਮ ਆਦਮੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਆਮ ਆਦਮੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ ਇਸ ਰਵੱਈਏ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੋਦੀ ਦੀ ਛਵੀ ਪੂਰੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੋਊਗੀ.
You can see and listen, they are very much adamant, and in fact still the Chandigarh police is detaining the protesters on a preventive measures so that at least the law and order situation shall not be created here at the spot. You can see visuals, they are having the slogan.
देखो जिस तरीके से अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को गिरफ्तार किया गया है, आज एक नहीं हर हजार अरविंद केजरीवाल, लाखों के करीब अरविंद केजरीवाल यहाँ मौजूद है. मोदी जी आपकी ये पुलिस कम पड़ जाएगी, मोदी जी आपकी जेलें कम पड़ जाएंगी. यहाँ लाखों के करीब अरविंद केजरीवाल मौजूद है. अपने देश को बचाएं.
क्या ये प्रोटेस्ट कंटिन्यू रहेगा?
बिल्कुल प्रोटेस्ट कंटिन्यू रहेगा. गैर संवैधानिक तरीके से जिस तरीके से मोदी सरकार अपनी सरकार चला रही है अपने देश को बचाने के लिए,
तानाशाही नहीं चलेगी. हम सब केजरीवाल
अरविंद केजरीवाल साहब ने चंगे स्कूल बनाए, चंगे हस्पताल बनाए, साडे वर्गे आम घरां दे बच्चियां नूं पढ़न लई.
So here you can see now the protesters have been taken into the preventive custody.
जाग जाओ इंडिया वाले, जाग जाओ, कब जागोगे?
You can see the visuals as well that how the protesters have.
All right. Those are the visuals that were coming in from Mohali, where intensive protests have unfolded over the last several hours, with Aam Aadmi Party workers and leaders taking to the streets, wanting to enter certain parts, but with Section 144 and heavy police presence and barricading, they have been stopped from entering. Many of them being detained as protests have been intensified. We are waiting for details to emerge from the Rouse Avenue Court, where the Enforcement Directorate has sought for a 10-day custody of Arvind Kejriwal. Arvind Kejriwal, who is now being named as a conspirator in the Delhi liquor policy scam. A scam which has unfolded after particularly not only a former bureaucrat who brought in a complaint and later on taken by the Lieutenant Governor. Let's listen into this reaction.
नॉर्थ कोरिया के अंदर किया गया, रूस के प्रधानमंत्री राष्ट्रपति पुतिन जो हैं हाल ही में अपने आम चुनाव में 87% वोट से जीते हैं। क्यों जीते हैं? क्योंकि जितनी अपोजिशन थी उनको उन्होंने जेल में डाल दिया। उनके जो सबसे बड़े विपक्षी नेता थे वो कुछ दिनों पहले जेल में मर गए। तो इस तरीके की जो चीज़ है ये देखी गई बांग्लादेश में भी हो रही है। पाकिस्तान में इमरान खान को जेल में डाल के जो है नवाज शरीफ के भाई जो हैं वो जो है वहाँ के राष्ट्रपति प्रधानमंत्री बन गए हैं। बांग्लादेश में भी ये देखा जा रहा है। नॉर्थ कोरिया में भी किम जॉन वो भी चुनाव कराते हैं। मगर जब सारे विपक्ष को आप जेल में डाल देंगे तो जनता की लड़ाई कौन लड़ेगा, जनता की आवाज कौन उठाएगा? आज तो इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड का मामला देश के सामने इसलिए आया क्योंकि कुछ लोग मजबूती से सुप्रीम कोर्ट गए, उन्होंने पूरा मामला लड़ा, तो ये बात पता चली कि जिस कंपनी के ऊपर, जिस आदमी के ऊपर फार्मा औरबिंदो फार्मा के जो मालिक के बेटे हैं, जो डायरेक्टर हैं उसके, उनको आरोपी बनाया गया इस एक्साइज केस में। उस आरोपी की कंपनी से भारतीय जनता पार्टी को इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड से चंदा मिला। जिस दिन वो गिरफ्तार हुए उसके 5 दिन बाद भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने औरबिंदो फार्मा से चंदा लिया। उसके बाद जब वो सरकारी गवाह बन गए तो सरकारी गवाह बनने के बाद 25 करोड़ फिर भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने उनसे चंदा लिया। तो अगर एक आदमी के ऊपर और उसकी कंपनी के ऊपर पीएमएलए है, यानी कि वो मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग में है, तो आप अगर उनसे पैसा ले रहे हैं तो प्रोसीड्स ऑफ क्राइम तो आपके पास तक पहुंच रहा है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास पहुंच रहा है। आप कह रहे हैं अरविंद केजरीवाल के खिलाफ सबूत ढूंढेंगे, आपके खिलाफ तो सबूत सबके सामने है। तो ये क्यों ना समझा जाए और ये क्यों ना देश माने कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास प्रोसीड्स ऑफ क्राइम पहुंचे हैं और ईडी को मुकदमा भारतीय जनता पार्टी के ऊपर दर्ज करना चाहिए।
सर, आचार संहिता लगते ही कौन यहाँ पर मौजूद है? और
देखिए, मेरे साथ कुछ यहाँ पे पार्षद हैं, वो लोग हैं। बताया जा रहा है कि जो दूसरी आसपास के थाने हैं उसके अंदर हमारे बाकी कई सारे विधायक हैं, आतिशी हमारी मंत्री हैं, वो भी बता रहे हैं कि वो नरेला थाने के अंदर है और अब हमें जो है यहाँ से बवाना थाने में ले जाया जा रहा है और बोल रहे हैं वहाँ से कहीं पे और ले जाएंगे। अभी आगे नहीं बताया कहाँ, तो जहाँ भी पहुँचेंगे आपको बताएंगे।
All right, let's just quickly bring you some breaking news. Enforcement Directorate, while seeking the custody of Arvind Kejriwal, has said that Arvind Kejriwal is the kingpin of the Liquorgate scam and that he is directly involved in the formulation of the policy and was in touch with Manish Sisodia the whole time. We'll bring you more information, but let's just listen in to my colleague Bhavtosh at this point.
That Arvind Kejriwal demanded kickbacks. Now, he demanded kickbacks not for himself but for the party. This has been clarified by the Enforcement Directorate in a press statement that was issued on Monday. SV Raju has further said that Vijay Nair used to live in the house close to CM Kejriwal. Now, ED had earlier written that this is an illegal act and that CBI should in fact register a case and pursue this matter further. And K. Kavita offered 300 crores to Aam Aadmi Party. Now, what the Additional Solicitor General has said that around 300 crore rupees was being offered to Aam Aadmi Party. The first initial installment of kickback was around 100 crore rupees, and to recoup this 100 crore rupees kickback, the profit margin was increased from 5% to 12%, so that there should be a continuous flow of money over a period of time. That's how the party wanted to have finances, so that they can just spread its wing. That's the basic investigation that the ED has carried out in its past 18 months. Though, having said that, Aam Aadmi Party has always denied these charges and have fought these charges at various levels in the courts.
Right. My colleague Bhavtosh bringing us details from the Rouse Avenue Court. Let's just quickly look into what's happening at the Rouse Court, where Arvind Kejriwal has been arrested and been produced. Now, the Enforcement Directorate, while seeking its custody, has said that Kejriwal's relatives have been informed and the remand application has been given to them. The Enforcement Directorate has claimed that Arvind Kejriwal is the kingpin of the Delhi liquor policy scam. They've also gone on to say that Arvind Kejriwal, directly involved in the formulation of policy, was in touch with Manish Sisodia the whole time. Vijay Nair, who was an accused and also an aide of Arvind Kejriwal, was residing very near to Arvind Kejriwal. And Kejriwal handled crime proceeds in Goa polls. That's a very important allegation that is coming in, directly linked to what may be ramifications of the electoral process as well. That's another aspect of what's emerging. But let's just try and understand what has this Delhi liquor policy been. It was a policy that was introduced in 2011, but I'm also being told my colleague Priyank has some information.
Kejriwal's legal team was focusing on. But look at this. The Enforcement Directorate before the court, and where all these reporters are standing, has clearly told it to the court that Arvind Kejriwal was a key conspirator. He was the one who had kept Vijay Nair as a middleman in between the Southern cartel and those ministers who were there in the national capital. And K. Kavita had also offered 300 crore rupees to be given as a money which was supposed to be as a kickback for the Aam Aadmi Party government, just to provide, basic information and give the liquor policy to those companies which were backed by K. Kavita, where the family members of K. Kavita also allegedly had some kind of stake. So at this junction, if you see, the ASG has made it very clear that for ED, for the information, for the evidence which they have gathered so far, Arvind Kejriwal, the convener of Aam Aadmi Party, the anti-corruption crusader of the national capital, who came into limelight with Anna Handare Andolan, the one who pulled down the government of Congress in the name that Congress was doing corruption, was himself arrested yesterday by the Enforcement Directorate. And now the ED is saying that in this 3,000 approximately crore of scam, Arvind Kejriwal is a key conspirator, and he was supposed to get the alleged kickback from the South Indian liquor lobby. It's a big thing which is being said in the court premises.
Absolutely, that was my colleague Priyank bringing us the details. So remember, there's not only kickbacks that Arvind Kejriwal received or the Aam Aadmi Party received, but there's also direct links to the money being used in Goa for the elections. That's a huge allegation that is being reiterated by the Enforcement Directorate in the court this time. An Enforcement Directorate very clearly mentioning in the court that Arvind Kejriwal is the kingpin behind the Delhi liquor policy scam that has not only had Arvind Kejriwal arrested, but also K. Kavita in the behind the bars. She is a BRS leader, the former Chief Minister KCR's daughter. In fact, this may be a huge challenge for the opposition, but we'll look at all of that in detail. Time for a short break.